Why did she quit her? I don't get it. I don't get. She quit her job. Why did she quit her job? Joseph, YouTube, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Shishi Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
My experience as a CEO. Woman shares experience as a CEO and falling in love with an inmate. Listen. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. Sit back because you're going to need it to get through this story. Let's go.
Let me tell y'all how a man can physically and mentally drain you. So when I was like 19, I started working as a correctional officer. And I went in with the mindset like, yeah, like these inmates can't do nothing for me. Like, what a man in jail gonna do for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, really have my big girl up in his own. And I just was not finna let nothing phase me. Cause you know when you go through the training like OJT or whatever, you know, they tell you how these inmates are, how they can manipulate you, how they can do this, how they can do that. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, yeah, okay. But when you get in there, it's a whole different story. And if you know, you know. But I was also a sweet girl. I wasn't finna let nobody play me. But it became to a point to where I started talking too much. And that's where they get you.
Interesting.
Never talk too much.
Okay.
If you a CEO, if you OJT, just let me tell you. I hope this land on the right side of TikTok.
Oh, it did.
Never talk too much to them inmates. I didn't look at it as like, you know, trying to be friendly and, you know, trying to get to know them or flirting or nothing like that. I strictly looked at it as like, he a person, I'm a person. He talking, I'ma talk too. That's where I went wrong. I should have just stayed strict. I should have just stayed being a, and I would have never got myself into that shit. But anyways, to make a long story short, I ended up being with him. We talked, you know what I'm saying, like when he was in jail, we would talk or whatever, blah blah blah. And then and then he snuck me. Now that I'm talking about this, I'm just very ashamed of myself. But I'm here being very transparent.
Doesn't look like you're ashamed of yourself. You're on here on TikTok talking about it, which is fine. Hey, here we are watching on the Coffee Pod. Listen, guys, keep this in mind that we just had a video where women were saying that your greatest competition right now are men who are locked up. Right? They're saying those men are offering more than a free man, and that is your competition. Unbelievable. Let's keep listening.
Leave all them negative comments and if you guys up there to say, keep scrolling. So like I was in the picket or whatever, and he was outside the picket. So he started like signaling his mom number to me or whatever to reach him when he got out. So blah 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 blah. He ended up getting switched to another facility. I was that deep in with him that I quit my job. I was making good money. If you know, you know.
Wow.
So when he transferred to another facility, I got in touch with his mom. His mom was like, okay, when he calls me, I'm going to throw you at a call and I'm going to let y'all talk. So when he called, she threw her at the call. We got on the phone and he was just like, hey, like I missed you. How you been? Like blah, blah, blah. Like where you at? Like what you doing now? Did you quit? You still working there? And I was like, no, I quit. You know, I got me a little job. So
Why did she quit her? I don't get it. She quit her job. Why did she quit her job after he got released to another prison?
where else? So anyways, we chopped it up for a little bit. And he was like, okay, well, set your phone up to this facility. Since you don't work no more, you can set your phone up. I can start calling you. So I was like, that's a bit cool. So we figured all that shit out, whatever. So we started talking more and more, getting locked in more and more. So he was like, when you get out, he was like, when I get out, move to Dallas with me. At the time, I'm telling you, I was 19. I was vulnerable. I was fresh out of my last relationship. It was a lot going on. Don't judge me.
Oh no, we're gonna judge. 19 years old. You listen. I don't care what anybody says. If you're raising up a daughter, and she gets to 19, she should know that there's no excuse for dating somebody who is in jail or prison. Drink the coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
No excuse. Hey guys, did you know that I'm on Facebook? Go ahead and hit that link pinned to the top of the comment section. If you're on Facebook, give me a follow. You can keep track of current content, shorts, and also older content if you are following me on Facebook. Appreciate you guys. Back into the video.
So I was like, what? I was like, no, are you crazy? Like, I'm 19. What am I gonna do with you out there? He was like, you do hair, you do this, you do that. You know, you can get that shit jumping out there. I was like, you know what, you right. So I started giving it thought, giving into that jail talk. He made me believe that we could actually live out there together. So eventually, like, when he got out, I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I started packing my shit. My family started noticing, because, like, I'm 19. I just graduated high school not too long ago. My family started noticing, like, what's she doing? What she got going on? Eventually, they picked up to it, you know what I'm saying? Especially my mama. My mama caught me on the phone talking to him, and she broke my phone.
Where is your father? What happened? What happened? Single mom? Sounds like it.
I worked. I got a new one. Started talking to him some more behind my mama back. So eventually every day I started packing little shit every day to put in my trunk. Little shit every day. Monday, I will pack some shit, put it in my trunk. Tuesday, pack some shit, put it in my trunk. I didn't want to do everything at one time because I didn't want people to be like, what are you doing? Literally, the only person that knew about this situation was my cousin. She was like, bro, you really gonna move out there? And I was like, yeah, you know, I trust him. So I moved out there. Not the day he got out, but the day after he got out, I moved out there. I literally moved. 19, still sleeping in a bed with my mama, like, youngest, still learning about life, like, had good things going for me working there, but I let a man persuade me to move out with him. So I left. Like, I just left. I did not look back. I left. Soon as I got down there, like a month after I got down there, shit started turning for the worse. He would, like, spaz out on me. He would, like, put his hands on me. He would pull my hair.
What a surprise. What a surprise. Guys, while women are telling these type of stories and going through this right here, they're simultaneously encouraging women to be single moms, single mom by choice, proud single mothers. I can do it all by myself. Where did she learn that that's the standard she should accept for a man in the household? Incredible.
He would pull chunks of my hair. One day I was in the mirror and I just started cutting out my hair. Just cutting it, just cutting it. He walked in the restroom. He was like, I don't know why you cutting it. I'ma still pull it. Like, I was just like so.
Let's just get through this.
Mentally drained. I was at my worst. We had came back to Dallas to my hometown and to visit my family. That was like the happiest day of my life because I was just like, I'm so drained out there, but I never told them that. I never told them nothing because I made that decision and I didn't want nobody to be like, you know what, you did that. You know, I didn't want nobody to say, I told you so. So I kept everything to myself. But when my mama seen me, she was like, you know, a mother knows. A mother knows. She was just like, you just look so, you don't look like yourself. She was like, look at your hair. Look at your clothes. Look at your skin. You not glowing. Your freshness then left. Like, you just look drained. Although, like, it wasn't all bad out there, but it wasn't all good either. I had got into a shop, started working in a salon out there, started doing hair, started making money. But my relationship with him was so unstable that I had to quit that job. I was living with his mama. His mama kicked us out. We became homeless. We was living in my car.
I don't have the button. I don't have the you can't make this shit up button. Make it make sense, people, please. I'm looking for it though.
I don't drink coffee.
Nope.
No, I'll have a tea.
Nope.
Coffee?
Nope.
You think you're better than
Nope.
Put that coffee down.
That one. Put that coffee down. Ridiculous.
We didn't have no money to eat. I remember us going to McDonald's and we literally had to get one McDouble a piece. I started losing so much weight out there.
Listen, I understand I'm laughing at this, but it's like I feel bad for her. I really do. I feel bad for her. But before you get upset, wait for those comments. Those comments are coming up next. Before you get upset, wait for the comments. Let's keep listening.
Started smoking weed. Like, it was to the point of where I couldn't eat unless I smoked weed. I was literally not myself. And I'm so glad that I'm just not that person no more. So eventually, like, we went back to Dallas or whatever. He was a veteran, so he was able to get us in a hotel to where like we could live there for a couple of months till we got on our feet. So after we moved in the hotel, I was like, can we just go back this weekend to visit my family? I was really plotting my escape. I literally left all my shit behind. Like, I didn't
Good
care
for
because
you.
I didn't want him to be like, why you taking all your shit? You know, if we just going this weekend and visit your family. So I left everything. When we
Good.
got down there, an episode had happened to where I told my mama, I was like, you know, I want to stay for a week. Can I stay here with y'all for a week? And then I'll go back to Dallas. She was like, you know, you more than welcome to stay. So I was like, okay, well, can you explain that to so-and-so, my boyfriend at the time? So yeah, she was like, you can take the car, you can go back to Dallas, and then, you know, you can just pick her up like next week. He was in it. He said yes to my mama's face, but deep down I already knew that it was gonna be a problem. So I walked outside and I was like, babe, you know, you okay with that? Like, is everything all good? And I was like, I'm gonna ride with you to the store real quick. So we left and I got in a car with him, and you know, we get to the store or whatever. But as we come back from the store, I'm like, you haven't said nothing. Like, are you good? Like, is you okay with me staying with my family for a week? Like, he just like spazzed out. He just spazzed out. I don't even remember a lot of shit that happened. I just remember like, you know, us having to pull on the side of the road because we fighting physically and he tripping.
Oh, look, you found a criminal, started dating him, and now he's doing criminal shit that no man should be doing, but the man was a criminal. This has to get called out, man. This stuff has to be publicized, and I am glad she's telling her story. It has to be publicized because we have to bring shame back to this shit. There has to be shame brought back.
Like, so hard. And I was just like, bro, if you keep tripping, I'm gonna run in these people's yard and I'm gonna call the police. I was just tired of being I was just tired of him putting his hands on me. Like, I was just through with that shit. So I was like, I'm gonna call the police. You're gonna go back to jail. So he was like, you go in the people's yard, swear to God, I'm gonna shoot them.
What?
So like, I just get back in the car. I get back in the car. We get back in the yard. I'm just like, boo, crying. I'm like, Granny, he gonna shoot the people. He gonna shoot the people. He splurged off in my car. Like, literally, he splurged off in my car. Mom was like, call the police, call the police. He not just finna leave in her car like that, whatever. So they call the police. The police looking for him in my car. And, you know, he eventually hid somewhere and got away. His mama picked him up. He got away, whatever. I say all this is
His mom picked him up, enabling bad behavior. There you go. The whole they raise up each and every one of them, and I'm talking about single moms raising up a woman without a father, a man without a father, and they come together and create chaos.
say that y'all don't fall for no. Keep your head on the swivel because these men will literally, mentally, and physically drain you.
Men, this is not just men. This is men who you started dating from prison. And guys, just when you were starting to feel bad for these chicks or her and other women who may have gone through the same things, then comes the comments to reveal that a lot of these chicks, unlike this woman who learned her lesson, hopefully, are hopeless, and their way of thinking and navigating today, and a lot of them happen to be black women in these comments, is just backwards. This is crazy. Check out this first comment. It says, I could never be a CO. I know my weakness. Pay attention to how this comment has almost 3,000 likes from other women who agree. Meaning, this wasn't a comment that was even exposed to the majority of other women who think the same way, but we at least know that just in this video alone, there are 3,000 women. 3,000 women, because the other ones didn't like it, right? They just laughed and said, ooh, I feel you, girl. 3,000 women who get weak at the knees at the thought of being around a bunch of criminals, because those are the men who they are attracted to. At 19 years old, at 18 years old, you should know that that's not right. And that wasn't the end of it. This comment turned into a thread. It says, facts with the laughing emojis. I'll be in love my first day. I'll be in love my first day to a criminal. And listen, I'm not talking about the type of person who's made mistakes in their life and then gotten themselves together. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about they're attracted to men who are actively right now involved in criminal activity or are suffering the consequences. It's the toxic traits that they're attracted to. Here's another comment that says laughing emojis literally. Here's somebody else that says laughing emojis. Another person here says crying. Check out this other comment from another woman. It keeps on going, who says, I wouldn't know who to pick. LMAO. She'd be so bombarded with options in prison that she wouldn't know which criminal to pick, so she could go through the same experience of getting her hair pulled out and all types of crazy stuff. Here's somebody else who says, this the one. She agrees. I already know myself. She knows herself. The Pookies locked up are irresistible to her. Somebody else here says, I applied in college and they called me for the interview. My mom purposefully didn't give me the message. She probably saved my life. Here's another one who says, on my life. There's another chick who says, found my people. LMAO. They think it's a game. These women are hopeless. You cannot justify this behavior. Incredible. Here's somebody else, a woman who says, a person who doesn't have anything will help you lose everything. Yes. Here's somebody else who says, in general, never talk too much. Less is more in all cases. I mean, I'm reading through this and I don't see one comment that says, do not date men who are locked up. Somebody else who says, experience is the best teacher. Glad you got out of that. Yes, it's the best teacher for hard-headed people. You do not have to go through this. To any woman out there who may be considering this path because you've been listening to too many drill artists. Here's somebody else who says, I'm a CO captain and I see every day how they try to manipulate the new cadets. The angry emoji, I'm so glad you got away, beautiful, with the praying hands emoji. And guys, I'm not somebody who thinks that every woman who works in a prison is doing this, because people like to go to the extremes back and forth. No, I don't. But I do think that it definitely happens. And there's something wrong with how much it's glorified. Here's somebody else who says, jail talk is real. They will sell you a dream like nobody's business. Here's somebody else who says, yeah, them jail men is not it. One experience and never again. Somebody else responded back to her and says, never again. Here's another comment that says, no judgment because you were a baby. And jail or not, you got to be so cautious with these men. So glad you got out of this situation. I don't like how they're like generalizing men. Like, with this specific, very specific situation. Here's another woman who said, did you ever look up his charges to see why he was in there? Another guy responded and says, does that matter if he is rehabilitated? I'm confused. Here's somebody else who says, yes, it does. And another comment here says, absolutely it does. Absolutely it matters. Yeah, I think it matters. A final comment here says, you're so beautiful. You was young, making young mistakes. You live and you learn. And she responded, and this is what she had to say. Let's check it out. Here we go.
I just want to say thank you so much for actually understanding where I'm coming from. The amount of negative comments coming from females alone is crazy. I'd rather be young and dumb than old and dumb and still taking that nigga shit. So what's your excuse? I was 19 and dumb. Meanwhile, you're 40 and dumb. And that man still putting you through shit. Then gave you 10 kids and you still ain't got a ring.
I mean, listen, she learned her lesson and she obviously does not want that type of a man in her life anymore. I'm against the whole I was 19 and I didn't know any better. No, you're supposed to know better at 19 years old. Yes, we all make mistakes, but that one, we need to raise the standards of expectations for young people who are considered adults, right? When it comes to what you can be sentenced for if you make a decision that goes horribly, you be tried as an adult. And with that being said, she does have a point. If you're in your 40s still out here going after men who are locked up, then you are in a much, much worse position than she's in. Let's keep listening.
I learned my lesson, thank you. And the amount of people saying, oh, they always get the big girls. Baby, I was big and confident. There was nothing wrong with my confidence. I was always cute at work, which is probably the problem. But I was cute for me, not for nobody else. I could see if I showed up and looking like I did not, but I didn't. My problem was I just talked too much. And I kept talking and I kept talking. And if you would listen, I said I was very vulnerable at the time because I was just out of a 5-year relationship, which was literally why shit played out the way it played out. I wasn't thinking. Y'all be so quick to judge people, but y'all never been in that situation. You have to be in a situation to know exactly what you're talking about. But if you from the outside looking in, of course you're gonna be like, oh my God, you left, you quit your job for him, you did this and you did that. How could you put your job at risk? How could you do that? How could you do this? Be in there. I dare you. Sign up to be a CO. Go. Do it. Let's see how long you last.
Now, listen, again, not every woman, because, a lot of guys like to take that to extreme too. That no matter the job that you're in, every woman in like nursing is effing. Every woman who's a CO is effing. No, I don't really believe that. Now, do I think that you're open to different temptations that other women are? Yeah, some women are. Not every chick, contrary to popular belief, hasn't learned that dating a man who is currently locked up just makes absolutely no sense. Some women end up realizing that, like, no, I would never do that. And they actually mean that. And so her saying, put other women in that situation and see how long they'll last. I'm sure some would probably fall a couple of times, but there will be a good amount of women who would not fall for this. This can't be the norm that, women are just weak at the knees when it comes to criminal. No, it's crazy behavior. It has to be called out. Stop it.
Because I was that person too. I was that person that was like, yeah, these men can't do nothing for me at all. I was confident. I was this and I was that. But when you get in there, they so cool. They like normal people. And me being the sweet girl that I am, I'm not like I'm not finna be like, oh, get out my face. Get out my face, you inmate. Like you do. Like, no, that just wasn't me. I personally feel like to get respect, you have to give it. Now, was I wrong for talking too much? I was dead as wrong. And that is me taking accountability for my action. But one thing is, what's so easy to do is give into conversation, literally, because you talking to them, they telling you their backstory, their life story, and next thing you know, y'all just didn't chopped it up for a whole hour. All I'm gonna say is don't judge my situation until you've been in it. It was a lesson learned for me, and I thank God that I was young and learned it and not old doing some shit like that. Because believe me, it's 40-year-old COs in there messing with inmates, 50, 60. They all ages, baby. They're not just 19. They're not just 20. Part 2 coming soon. Stay tuned.
All right. So there you guys go. Of course, I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you as always for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.